Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. My name is Dr. Ryan Kime. I'm an emergency physician and holistic nutritionist. And the purpose of this series is for me to share with you my transformational story and the ideas that I found in regards to getting healthy, in particular gut health, and what they can do for you. It's truly fascinating, and I've been motivated. I transformed my life to get behind this because of what it's done for me, and some of the things I feel like I've been duped. I did not find in my 20 years of, or actually 30 years of medical training, 20 years of medical practice. So let's jump right into it. And before we start today's video, the ideas are I'm going to explain what I think health is. A little bit about my background, how I came to find these questions about health, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next in the next series for you. But before we get started, let me give you a quick tip. As you probably know, probiotics and fermented foods are one of the healthiest things you can do for your gut. But sometimes it's a challenge, even with supplements, to get those strains down into your gut, get beyond the stomach acid and the heat, and actually colonize and provide a beneficial effect. One of the most recent and excellent ideas I just came upon was the adoption of a homemade yogurt I made with a strain of Lactobacillus reuteri, Reuteri, Lactobacillus reuteri. You can get it out of a packet, but this particular strain has been eradicated from adult, most adult people from antibiotics. Yet it is one of the most robust strains and provides a numerous benefits. So I've been making my own yogurt with Lactobacillus reuteri. It doesn't taste any different than the other yogurts, and then adding my own toppings. We'll talk more about it, but some of the health benefits with Lactobacillus reuteri or L. reuteri, it promotes a healthy balance of your gut microbiome, which are the trillions of bacteria, microbes that live inside your gut. It promotes antimicrobial properties. It keeps the bad bacteria in line. It reduces inflammation by interacting with parts of your immune system and the cytokines and the different mediators to reduce inflammation. It reduces histamine. It produces a biofilm, which helps organize and sustain, like I said, a balanced, healthy microbiome. It even helps convert essential vitamins that we need, in addition to some other benefits. But yeah, there's a tip for you. So let's get started. What does it mean to be healthy? Well, as a sick kid and then following into medicine for my entire career, I only learned about really what it was to be diseased. And when I started to ask, well, how do you stay healthy? It wasn't like, well, we'll take your blood pressure, and when it gets high, we'll start you on medication. Or, you should eat a balanced diet, and when you have cholesterol problems, we'll start you on cholesterol medication. These types of adages were very disease oriented, and I couldn't get my answers. And as I aged, I now turned 50, but this started about 10 or 12 years ago. The questions were, how do I get more out of my life? How do I have more energy? How do I not age so fast? How to take best care of myself so I don't develop these chronic diseases. And really, despite that extensive medical education, despite 20 years of bedside practice, I don't think I had a great answer on it, but I think I do now. I think I'm moving in the right direction. And that has to do with food and gut health. In particular, your gut health. I think that is the key to your well-being, to your health, and to your vitality. And I'll explain as we go through why, because there's many facets to it. So what led me down this path of getting healthy, and it's because you'll see so much of it is my skiing. I really have a passion to ski. I've skied most of my life. I love all aspects of it. I think about it. I blog about it. I write about it. And now I train year round about it. And I live outside Lake Tahoe in Reno, so I can ski and enjoy the lifestyle. Absolutely think it's the epitome. It works for me, brings my soul out, brings my love, and you're going to hear me share a bunch of skiing stories. I'm really inspired. But let's bring it back to you. So we're trying to get healthy. We couldn't find the answers in Western medicine. And so I went on discovery and I said, let's just start over. Where can we find it? And I started going down paths, and to put it under a title without confining it to that, I would say it's most holistic health practices, right? And so here's some of the truths that I think I've found that I want to then lean into in the next series of these live streams. Is the human body is a self-healing organism if it's given the right nutrients and offered the right environment. And this corroborates my experiences in medicine. I have seen unbelievable wounds on trauma services and post-operative care that have healed. I've seen people recover from neurologic deficits, from cardiac arrests, and other would sustained miracles. But there's undoubtedly a regenerative ability of the human body. And now that I've understood, studied, and certified and practiced as a nutritionist, I wish I knew these principles that I would apply to disease, but can also be applied to health to keep you from disease. Right now, knowing this information, I don't know if I could think about a single medical problem, disease problem, where I wouldn't address the nutrition as a basis of any part of practice or managing the problem. You'd have to start with nutrition. Headaches, infections, strokes, all start with nutrition. So I'm really excited about this. I think I found some breakthrough type ideas. I don't think there are any secrets, but I've studied and practiced and experienced and tested and talked and then collecting this in one place to offer to you. And what my goal is, right? What my goal is not to get your liver the cleanest it can be. That may be a side effect, but it's to get beginners to be able to start. I found that the biggest challenges people had to getting healthy was, what do I do and how do I do it? There's too much information and people are conflicting and you don't know who to trust. And I'm not saying to trust me. I would like you to, because I think I'm honest and I would like you to get better. But we need to have a dialogue about what your individual concerns are. And I think you do the research on your own and then we corroborate. I see my role as a guide, as an assist with you to you, feeding you information, supporting you, encouraging you, finding blind spots, adding on resources, molding the program to help you go 0 to 1, to help you step outside of the medical community so you can manage your own health, so you can stay away from disease and or reverse disease that you may have. It's so exciting. So thanks for staying with me. Before I end here for this part of the live stream, let's give you one more topic to leave on. Hear about some basic truths I also believe in. Not only are we a self-organized, self-healing organism if given the right nutrients in the right environment. That's not a quote. That's just something I really believe. I think the basics matter when it comes to food. The basics matter. So if you don't have the basics correct, and we'll talk about what those are, you could be taking the most exotic, fancy, specific supplement, vitamin, routine, and it may not have an effect. It may not have an effect because we don't have the basics right. I also think that the choice is yours and information is empowering. And the thing about my program and my discussion is that, like, once we level you up, you won't go back. Like, once we teach you about ingredients, once I share with you about whole foods, like, you're not going to not understand it anymore. And so it's just such a transformational conversation relationship for you. It's not like a fitness routine. Okay, we're going to train for a marathon. Well, when you're done, you may know how to train for a marathon, but you need to go do it all over. Well, you know how to do it. You've practiced these recipes, and these are the things we'll talk about. About how I try to implement and offer this to you so you succeed going 0 to 1. You start as a beginner. Fantastic. So another kind of mantra I have is progress over perfection. Let's focus on progress with your nutrition over perfection. I don't like the word diet. It means restriction and it means limits and it means finite. And I don't like any of that. I think nutrition is an approach about what you're trying to do for yourself and why. And it can encompass a lot of things. And that's one of, I think, my advantages is I work with all types of diets, from carnivore to vegan to everything in between. And I help customize it to improve your lifestyle and you get the highest potential out of your best gut health. Another adage and progress over perfection. Really, what I'm trying to say there is I don't think it's a switch. I, for me, my success and the clients and the people that I've seen have done it and have evolved their nutrition over time. Each one of us is different. I took maybe 6 months and then it's still evolved. So it's been years, but other people take a few weeks, other people take a couple of years. And you'll just see as I speak to the specifics of the recipes about how you would evolve a recipe to your liking. I think that lots of changes And behind just the recipes and the food, and we'll get into this, and this is a very it's like a pillar of my program, is your mindset around food, your relationship to food, understanding your emotions and how they're connected to food, because this will then understand what the food is doing for you and how it can control and dictate your life if you're not aware of what's happening. Really fascinating science. What do I get into the brain gut connection? Another one I have for you is that, well, that was it, is the mindset and the relationship to food. It's really important. It's almost important as the food yourself. Are we rebounding? Are we reacting? Are we intentional with our food? I think the goal is I think the goal is to be able to know your body so well that you can eat like you eat intuitively because you've understood the macros, you've understood the calories, you've understood the qualities, you've understood the sources, you understand what your body needs. And our body's constantly in a dynamic process. And this will leave you with the last one. And this is, I'm not sure we need supplements. I take them, I recommend them, I endorse them, and I don't think we need them. So why would you use them? Why do you talk about them, Ryan? Because I don't think we all eat perfectly, and I think everything's a dynamic process. And so if I'm in a strenuous exercise, I'm needing more help with recovery and focus on that. Or maybe I'm fasting and I may miss something. So or may recover because I was on vacation. I wanted to celebrate, so I broke down my diet. Like I'm having fun with this, and it changed my life. And there may be restrictions on it, but I don't feel like that anymore. I really get to enjoy it, and may I not go out and binge on a Thanksgiving meal every other week, potentially like I did before, but I get to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner whenever I want, if I want it. And you'll see, we'll talk about some of the mindset. It's really interesting about how your behavior changes once you understand the mindset of the food. I think that's enough for now. Coming up in the next live stream is I'm actually going to walk you down through my coaching course. Why? Because these are my very best distilled down recommendations to get you from 0 to 1, to get you started on a holistic nutrition program that's customized specifically for you to succeed and have your gut health. Talk about why gut health is so important next time and start down my recommendations. Thanks for following along. Hope you take good care. I love you all. See you next time. Bye.